Voch is actually like one of the most entertaining people I watch.
Your mama sure does care about your schooling, son.
You bring American money?
It's false.
Beats Planet.
Well, come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
And I don't like how them boys talking.
Hey, Bachi.
We are back. Appreciate y'all. What the business is. Shake my hand. If you one of the women in the chat, just give me a hug. What y'all doing? Y'all all right? Everybody straight? Come on in. Sit down. Get yourself something cool to drink. I hit the button again.
Well, come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
We ain't doing nothing else. Couple of things. You know what I'm saying? Fanatic Mari says, "Oh, so I'm a man. I can't give you a hug." Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Roll like that. There you go. There you go, bro. Love you, man. Appreciate you for being here. All y'all that tune in to me. If you a man in need a hug. Give me a hug too. It's hard out here. You feel me? You might need a hug. You know what I'm saying? But see, this is my thing, right? You know what I mean? Like if you a man, just ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna give all the women hugs. Oh, good. Glad you came out. Nice to see you. Oh, appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm talking about? But if you a man and you walk up, man, Voch, man, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. They just gave my pet iguana open heart surgery. Nigga. I need a hug. Come here, dog. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yeah, I got it. But let's discuss it first before you know what I mean? You know, we are about to do a lot more public things. I've been saying it for a year now. You know, living in DFW now, so I gotta let the rules be known. You know, if you want a hug, like, you gotta ask and wait till I think about it first, and then you know what I'm saying. Shouts out to y'all for being here too, though, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Couple things to talk about today. I was taking a walk the other day. I wanted to talk about draft stuff, because that's what I do, with all due respect. And you know, there's a lot of people that tap on my shoulder. Tapping on the shoulder is okay. There's a lot of people that tap on the shoulder and they go, Voch, what's going on with first of all, with what's going on at 12? Are the Cowboys really possibly going to take them two players that you don't like too much? And the answer is possibly. You know, the Cowboys is one weird draft away from me saying they can't draft no more. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it could happen, you know? Specifically, a large portion of us Cowboy fans with great reason to do this, but they want wide receiver at 12 overall to, you know, so CeeDee Lamb can have a running mate. And with the dynamic signing of Paris Campbell, I don't know if that's going to stop you from finding a running mate to go with CeeDee Lamb. Cool. This Jonathan Mingo thing can make things a little complicated. You got a 4th round pick invested in him. I don't know in particular, you know, how valuable the Joneses value a 4th round trade. You know, the last 4th round ain't do shit for you. And I was ready to accept that this one wouldn't either. But, you know, wide receiver is a little different than quarterback. And that quarterback had 1 year, you know, left on his deal. And I think this receiver only got 1 year left. Mingo, that is. And then Turpin gets his money. You know what I'm saying? Turpin goes and gets $6 million a year. And I don't think Turpin is making $6 to just be a kick returner that runs into people. You understand? So the wide receiver landscape could get muddy. But for giggles, let's say the Cowboys want to draft wide receiver, and there's this wide receiver that, you know, some of your local neighborhood, you know, draft pundits, I might be one of them. I appreciate you if you have enough faith in me to make me one of those. Tet Mcmillian, Tetaroa McMillan from Arizona. He's a character that we covet pretty highly. Let me run on my draft board real fast because I ain't doing nothing else. Just to give you an idea about what's happening here, okay? So McMillan is the best receiver on my board, okay? And I got my 1st round guys ranked already. He's number 5, okay? So if the Cowboys, or just Cowboy fans, let's leave it at Cowboy fans. If Cowboy fans are saying to me, Voch, we didn't tank like we were supposed to. We, meaning the Cowboys. We didn't tank like we were supposed to, Voch. However, I would really like it if we got the best wide receiver and the 5th overall player on your board, Voch. At the end of the day, Voch, your board don't matter. This y'all talking to me. Voch, at the end of the day, I'm even turning this way to face the Voch Lombardi logo. Voch, your logo ultimately doesn't matter, but I trust you. So on your board, the best receiver, the 5th overall player, Voch, I want that player to fall to 12, and I want to draft him there. I would look at you with some sort of, let's see which button I could just get ready for. I would look at you like, oh, so you think the 5th overall player gonna fall to 12?
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it.
That's how I would look at you. But something interesting has been developing over the past couple of weeks. I'm getting my war card ready for it to turn as high as I can get it. Developing the past couple of weeks, I've seen Mel Kiper, in which he really don't matter, but you know, his sources or whatever. Daniel Jeremiah, he don't really, but he got sources or whatever, right? You know, they got, Tet way down in the 19s and 20s or whatever. I hear this buzz in my ear of people saying, well, Voch, Steve Smith doesn't like Tet Mcmillian. So I don't care about what Steve Smith, Ja Rule, I don't care. And most importantly, brother Todd McShay, he went on the Ben Simmons podcast, and shouts out to Todd McShay, man. He's still doing this thing. Todd McShay went on a nationally televised podcast and told us that he only watched 9 running backs so far. So that's whatever. This ain't Voch Lombardi versus Todd McShay, you know what I'm saying? But he said he's watched 9. Let me drag it so I can see. See, I got 22 done. So I don't know how in front of or behind Todd McShay is, but he went on Ben Simmons' podcast, and he didn't speak that highly of Tet Mcmillian neither. So I figure we should react to it. I pulled the clip, and I just want to listen to what Todd McShay has to say. I might even take my glasses off. I'm going to do it then, but I'm not going to do it now. I might even take my glasses off and give a genuine reaction to what I would consider nonsense that the 5th best player on my board, the 5th best player on my board is falling. It's falling. Now, I look at that as treachery afoot. I'm not that trustful. I'm trustworthy, but I'm not that trustful. Like, I don't believe in y'all. I can't save you if you don't want to be. Come on, chat. So in my mind, I think it's one of two things. When I see people talking about Tet Mcmillian, who's 5 on my board, and they talk about him going way down to 19 and 20, I think it's one of two things, chat. Either somebody lying. I've been hitting that war call so much, man, but I got to hit it right now. Either somebody lying. I'm sorry about all the work. Or these hoes just ain't good at drafting. Let's pull that clip up and see what old bro Todd McShay doing, man. I mean, he still got the job, man, so he good and qualified there, so I ain't gonna. Let me see what we got there. I ain't gonna hold him too bad, man. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see what the business is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Hallelujah, man. Sometimes I gotta apologize for the war calls, man. People don't like when I hit the button so much, but I think some things that I say require a little emphasis. You see how this works? That's Todd McShay on the right, just in case y'all ain't know. That's Todd McShay on the right. And the other one is the host of the podcast, Bill Simmons. Have I been calling him Ben Simmons? Bill Simmons. I'm surprised that this channel only got 202,000 views. Bill been doing this for a while. Anyway, told you I was gonna take my glass off. Let's just listen and just see what old boy talking about. I just want to see what old boy talking about. And I left the phone number up there because if y'all want to call in, the phone is right there. I would love to hear from you all, okay? Let's see what the business is. Chat, tell me if this is too loud, too quiet. Y'all let me know.
Defensive player with that 41st pick. So there's different ways to look at all of this. And that's why I think it's going to be fascinating. We're going to see at least 2 running backs in the first round. I think 3. I don't know that we're going to see 2 in the top 10, but I
can't believe that. You know? That's what with T-Mac, I wonder, like,
I'm putting my glass back.
With this is the reverse of a glut when there's nobody.
So when Bill Simmons says T-Mac, that's what they call him in the I've been calling him Tet, 'cause that's probably what his uncle and his auntie and them call him. But you know, and I grew up where T-Mac played basketball. You know what I mean? So I don't call him T-Mac necessarily. But Bill Simmons called him T-Mac, just in case y'all want. So here we go.
T-Mac, I wonder, like, with this is the reverse of a glut when there's nobody at a position. He's the only probably first round graded wide receiver. He's one of the only 2 that you could even see going in there. And somebody just needs a receiver, and you get people in our office like, fuck it, we need a receiver. And all of a sudden he's going 11th, you know, because we see that version of the draft too.
And this is where I think that's kind of going along with the crowd, so to speak. Or I'll say a little bit of groupthink, so to speak. Because if I look at my board and some of the colleagues that I trust, the largest amount of first rounded grades that we have on our board is wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Most people have 3. I got 4. If you consider Travis a wide receiver, then some people have 5 wide receivers, right? So to hear Bill come out and say, "Oh, ain't no wide receivers in this draft," I'm thinking, what draft you talking about? I'm looking at Ibuka. I'm looking at Matthew Golden. I'm looking at Luther Burden, and you know Luther may fall, you know, for different reasons, but not from first round wide receiver reasons. And then you got McMillian. So when I hear Bill Simmons say, and Travis Hunter, if you consider him a wide receiver, so when I hear Bill Simmons say, "Oh yeah, it's just not really a bunch of wide receivers in this draft," my ears perk up a little bit. Let me perk these motherfuckers up real. My ears perk up a little bit because I get curious. I'm like, man, where you get your information from? And I'm already got trust issues with a lot of these podcasts, right? Because look, let me just look at how he got this thing annotated here. The first 35 minutes of the show, they talking about the top 4 picks of Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter. Now, you know, I'm a little seasoned of a draft guy. You know what I'm saying? I've been done talking about the top 4 picks a long time ago. If you still want to talk about the top 4 picks, then cool. But if I'm 20, 30 minutes into your podcast and you talking about quarterbacks of Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter, I'm assuming you don't talk draft for real. I'm just assuming, humbly, respectfully. So when I hear Bill Simmons, after talking about the top 4 guys for 30 minutes, when I hear Bill Simmons say, "Oh yeah, this a wide receiver class, I just don't see a whole bunch of wide receivers in the first round," I'm like, dog, I just don't take you as a film guy in that way, and that's okay. Hold on, let me move this out of the way so y'all can see my hands. That's all right. That's all right. Y'all need to be careful. As an audience, y'all need to be careful. And watch Voch Lombardi. And the Dallas Cowboys draft show and Fusty King and Jeff Kavanaugh and all those and hold on, what I just saw and watch if I can find my mouse and Sip the Tally Films. Shouts out to Coach Evans in the chat there. Watch those guys for your draft talk. You know what I'm saying? Don't watch the basketball guy. But just I take that back because he, you know what I'm saying, Bill making his money. Watch Bill Simmons, but just be aware that, you know. Just be aware that he's doing Bill Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Voch, will you be taking calls during the draft show? I'm not going to be taking calls. I'm going to be on the Dallas Cowboys draft show this year, just in case, you know, anybody didn't know. Allegedly, unless something changed or whatever, I'm going to be on the Dallas Cowboys draft show. They typically don't take calls on draft day, and all that. But I'm taking calls on this show. If you want to call this draft show, you can call in. But on draft night, the Dallas Cowboys draft show, I don't work there. Shit, I don't think they do Zoom calls in there, let alone take you know, phone calls or whatever. But back to Bill Simmons and his lack of wide receiver,
and all of a sudden he's going 11th. you know, because we see that version of the draft too. It's wow, you're taking him here?
I think everyone wants to be so quick to look at the highlights and the spectacular plays, and they are spectacular. And then they want to look at his size, and then they want to look at the report from Schultz, was it, that where he ran a 4.48. I talked to some scouts. They had closer to 4.45, somewhere in that range. Regardless, I don't see the dog in him, and I don't see the refinement. And Drake London wasn't overly refined.
This is where it got weird to me. What you mean, dog? Hey, dog, what you mean? Hey, listen, bro. Listen, you can have whatever opinion you want, dog. I'll let anybody have an opinion, my guy. But I'm just curious about people lying a little. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be wary of people lying a little. Because I don't like being lied to. You can say what you want, but I don't like being lied to, bro. So I figure since I'm messy, I'm just gonna I'm gonna let Todd McShay keep talking. But I'm gonna run this film up. I'm gonna run this goddamn. I'm gonna run this. Hey, look. Hey, I'm gonna let Todd McShay keep talking. I'm gonna run this film of damn McMillian dogging people. Go ahead.
4.8. I talked to some scouts. They had closer to 4.45, somewhere in that range. Regardless, I don't see the dog in him. And I don't see the refinement. And Drake London wasn't overly refined. He needed a year before he could be a 1,000+ yard receiver. But that's the comp, right? Tall, just acrobatic type of guy. But they're, the shades of, but they're not the same player. So,
but does somebody look better if there's not a lot of competition in a draft, and then they start to look like the hottest girl at the bar? Absolutely, and he will go. I mean, he could go as high as Dallas at 12, let's say.
So look, this I got a problem with what Bill Simmons talking about. You know what I'm saying? I got a problem with Bill Simmons talking about, because I think this is a draft that's filled with guys like that. I think this is a draft that's filled with, you may look great in this draft because there's a deficit of elite players here. Right? We don't have a Joe Alt this year, Olu Fashiono this year. So Will Campbell and Kelvin Banks look great. I think Josh Simmons is one of those guys, but it seems like the league is disagreeing with me, but I think they just wrong. As far as running backs go, there's no Bijan and Gibbs, right? There's Genty, and then it's a group of guys. I'm gonna keep this damn Tet Mcmillian film rolling. As far as edge rushers go, right? Like if Mike Green and Mykel Williams and Jalen Walker was in last year's class, dog, Tyrion Arnold went like pick 24, 6 last year. They may be 30 guys last year, Mike Green and Mykel Williams, as opposed to like Abdul Carter, who's like a bona fide top 5 guy. So when I hear Bill Simmons talk like this, I'm like, dog, where was that energy for the rest of the characters we've been watching now? Unless you ain't been watching, I'm gonna keep this damn McMillian film of him being a dog rolling. But I'm like, dog, where is your opinion on that though? And then when you go to wide receivers, the least you could do is somebody would be like, oh, well, I like route runners, so I'm going to go with Buka. Oh, I like the long speed and XYZ, so I'm going to take Golden. Oh, well, I like yak guys, so I'll take Burden. If anything, if any position group, there's more mix up in flavor of ice cream with wide receiver. But I think with a lot of people, McMillian takes over that group, regardless of what the flavor is. Even with Matthew Golden entering the conversation kind of late for those guys, not for Voch, because if you've been watching Voch, we've been talking about Golden and liking Golden for a while. I got to hit the button. I know people sick of me hitting the button, but I got to sometimes, right? Like, if anything, if we talking about first round guys, the wide receiver group is one of the, I'm still going to play this damn McMillian of him. The wide receiver group is the more stacked, and McMillian has separated himself from those guys. And look, I'll take it from Bill Simmons, dog. I'll take it from Bill Simmons. But I'm looking at Todd McShay shake his head like, yeah. And look, man, I'm just some regular cat with a camera and a microphone, dog. But I'll never let nobody come on my show and be like, oh, well, yeah, you know, McMillian, man, you know. And look, this how weird McShay sound. Oh yeah, McMillian. Oh, he got some fantastic catches. Oh yeah, he got the big wingspan. You know what I mean? He looked like Drake London and all that, and the 40 time was a little better than what we expected and all that. He just not a dog to me. I wouldn't let nobody come on my channel and say that, because I'd be like, man, why you say that? That character that you just been talking about for 20, 30 minutes from Colorado that play corner and wide receiver, ask him about McMillian. Ask him. Ask him. I don't know, man. I don't know. And then this was the quote that got me, because Marcus Mosher tweeted this out, and I retweeted it because I had an attitude. But the idea of the highest I can see him going is Dallas, man. I think that's crazy. The highest I can see him go is Dallas, and this is coming from a character in Tet McMcillian on this same podcast. Maybe like 12 minutes ago into this podcast, just told you, oh, go and take Mykel Williams in the top 8 or so picks. I'm confused, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't follow the foo-foo. I don't fool with all the foo-foo for real. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and there's comes, but Voch. Well, but Voch, you're just a guy with a camera and a microphone, Voch. Well, what makes you think that you know better than these National Football League scouts and GMs? Let me tell you something. I used to let y'all get away with that. Once upon a time, let me minimize this shit so y'all can look at me. I'm gonna look y'all ass in the eye. Let me cut this damn McMillian film off. I used to let y'all get away with that, right? I used to just like comply with that. Like, yeah, man, you're right. You know what I'm saying? You should probably defer to somebody that's a professional that works in pro personnel that gets paid a whole bunch of money. You should probably defer, right? But this is the advantage that I have. I know y'all sick of I do this because I have hit this button in a minute. This is the advantage that I have. Both of our records are readily available on the internet.
Did you hear what I said?
They're readily available on the internet. So if you look at pick a team, why don't you? And you look at how they draft, you'll go, damn, dog, y'all had some misses in XYZ, and y'all may look at me and be like, and say, well, Voch, you got some misses too, but talk about my wins. And if you talk about my wins, that's gonna be a long list, a much longer list than some misses are. I'll leave it there. Let me just finish up anything Tet McMcillian got to say before I get up out of this and run to my phone. I thought this was some nonsense, and it really upset me. I wasn't all that upset, but it upset me enough to make some content. Let me see what you're talking about.
Plays, and they are spectacular. And then they want to look at his size, and then they want to look at the report from Schultz, was it, where he ran a 4.48.
This motherfucker just said 3 dynamic great compliments in a row, and he about to tell you why you shouldn't take him top 10. This is what
I talked to some scouts. They had closer to 4.45, somewhere in that range.
Oh, he ran faster than you thought. Oh, okay. It's just whatever. I got it.
Regardless, I don't see the dog in him, and I don't see the refinement. And Drake London wasn't overly refined. He needed a year before he could be 1,000+ yard receiver, but that's the comp, right? Tall, just acrobatic type of guy. But they're, yes, the shades of, but they're not the same player. So,
but does somebody look better if there's not a lot of competition in a draft, and
Absolutely.
then they start to look like the hottest girl at the bar?
Absolutely, and he will go. I mean, he could go as high as Dallas at 12, let's say. But I had him going later in the first round.
The hottest girl at the bar, Bill Simmons, is still the hottest girl at the bar, sir. How dare you?
I had him going to the Ravens, kind of at that point, best player available. They could use another receiver.
Yeah,
probably go somewhere in between that range when it's all said and done.
Ravens.
But I'm betting on Matthew Golden from Texas. If you need a receiver, like that's why I gave
so you
Dallas.
have 2. Okay.
I've got 2, and then Emeka Ibuka could be the third that sneaks in from Ohio State. We'll see how he runs at his pro day, but he would be the third that I think has a good chance to go.
See how he runs.
All right, 2 more questions.
Let me give you another name real quick.
Yeah.
And then look, I gotta leave here before I get pissed off. And then he said, let me give you another name to think about. And I go, all right, let me check my board of 20 some odd wide receivers watched. It's probably not 20, it's closer to 15 or something like that. Let me get my board ready for this next name that he about to spew. See what you talking about.
If you're not getting the receiver that first pick at 38 for New England, Jaden Higgins from Iowa State. Do a little work on him.
I've watched some YouTube on him.
They're looking for a
feel a little burned
receiver.
after Polk last year in the 30s with the receiver. I'm hurt. My guard's up.
I know, but I'm just saying he's a name that fits what they're looking for.
This is what I be talking about, man. I just want y'all to be careful, all right? I want y'all to be careful. I want y'all to be careful as possible. Because there's people out there that don't want what's best for you. That's why you got to call the Franks.
There are times in life you wish you had a do-over. A chance to warp back in time to change your fate. Back to before you made the wrong choice. If you're in a wreck, make the smart choice right away. Frankel and Frankel. Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frankel first.
If you've been hit by a reckless driver or a big truck, please tap in with the Frankels. 214-333-3333. Don't even call your insurance company. Don't call nobody. Don't call your mama. Call the Frankels and they'll walk you through everything that you need to do. Don't call nobody until they tell you to call them. All right. They work in the DFW. They've been doing DFW cases for a long, long time. You can go to frankelfirm.com. That's their website, and scroll around. And you can see all the wins that they've pulled off there. And look, if you call them, you're probably going to get on the phone with a Frankel. You're not going to hear some AI voice. You're not going to get some recorded message or whatever. You are going to talk to somebody that cares about your case. All right. So be sure to tap in with the Frankels. Frankelfirm.com, 214-333-3333. All right, let's get into the phones. On the Frankel and Frankel phone line, man. Wait, man, leave it up there. On the Frankel and Frankel phone line. All right, let's see what the business is. We got some big dogs on the phone, man. We got some big dogs on the phone. Let's get Los on the phone. What's up, Los?
Hey, good afternoon, Voch, man. It's been a while, man. Hey, keep doing your thing, man. Keep running those pockets deep, and many blessings to you and your, endeavors in your life, man. You deserve it.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. We're going to work hard, Los. Go ahead.
Hey, and just real quick, I just have one beat for you.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to make it quick. I know wide receiver has been a big topic, especially with, McLean, right? And I truly believe, we do need wide receiver depth. I mean, CD just can't be, getting double team all the time, and we have to rely on him getting all these yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if Terry doesn't fall, right, there is a name out there, and I just want you to, your opinion on this player if you already seen his tape, because you're a draft god. That's what I call it. But Savon Williams from TCU.
Yeah.
I just think he's like a true home run, and he's a true hidden gem. And the reason I say that is he's physical in the point of attack on the football. He can get those 50-50 balls with his size. His yak ability, he's not Tyreek Hill with his speed, but his football speed in the open field, it speaks for itself if you watch the tape.
Yeah.
And I think he's truly one of those players until a team sees his tape and they take advantage in drafting him. And I think he's going to be a great complement receiver wherever he falls, right? But he has a high ceiling to be a true X, especially with his size. And I just want you to know, if we don't get a huge, what's his name, McLean from round 1, do you think that's a round 3, even reach for him in round 2? That's really reaching, but round 3 or round 4 type of guy that can be a true complement piece with CD.
Yeah, man. Savion Williams, 6'3", almost 6'4", and 220 pounds, man. You know, he's gonna need some refinement, of course. And you said it perfectly, you know, with some upside of being true X receiver type guy. But he's right now, like fresh out the box, when you draft him, he's gonna be a move around guy. He's gonna run your crossers and jet sweeps and things like that. But if you watch him at TCU, they didn't even figure this out to the end of the season. They just started lining him up at quarterback and running back and just handed him the football. And he was tough to tackle, man. So I like yak guys, man. You know, if you can, like, if I can give you 5 yards, you can give me 15 back, man. That's the purest form of football to me. So I'm a big fan of Savion Williams, man. He might be a 3rd round guy, something like that.
Yeah, that's one of those players I really like. That it's on my, secretly players I really like in the draft. True hidden gems, right? And I mean, I just think there's like you said, Voch, there's not a lot of great talent out there, but there are good starter depth pieces out there in this draft that you just gotta take advantage and see the tape for itself, and you gotta take advantage. And if you're sleeping, well, it's on you.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Fair enough. Appreciate you, Los. Appreciate the support, man. Yeah, man, Savion to be a good one. Savion to be a good one. If you somehow find a way to go running back, corner, or offensive line, something like that, or linebacker early in the first round, or just end of the first round, and you need a wide receiver option later, Savion to be a good one. Savion to be a good one. Let's go. Reek, what up?
Hey, what's going on, Voch? What's going on, Cowboy Nation?
What's good with you?
I'm cool, man. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is like this with Mac. I don't want that same thing that happened with Randy Moss back in the day. We had a gym right there in front of us. Just think about if we would have took that gym and put him on that team with Troy Aikman, and if Michael Irvin didn't get hurt, we'd probably be talking about more than 5 Super Bowls with that type of talent. But the Joneses were stubborn back then, and they didn't pick Randy Moss. That was an obvious win. I don't want us to do that again.
Yeah.
If Genty on the board, if McMillian, if he on that board, hey man, pick him up, man. Because obviously you guys don't want to spend more money in free agency. Then at the same time too, from what I'm understanding is if they pick up certain players in free agency, that can mess with their comp picks for next year. If they sign certain players,
I think if they sign them, then they'll designate them for later, so it doesn't mess with the formula or whatnot. That's just what I think.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, man. CD Lamb deserves another. He needs a running mate.
Yep.
Because the Joneses cannot sit here and act blind to what Philly is over there doing. Now we have to really compete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should have a bad taste in their mouth about to see these cats going to the Super Bowl, tearing their team apart, putting it back together, and going back some years later and winning again. It's a new age. We can't be cheap anymore. You know, if you're going to be cheap, go ahead and fill up your roster as much as you can. You know what I mean? Then once you get to the draft, you can get best player available, whatever position it is. But if a person like Mac is on the board, Mac, get that dude. Because I think he will be a big help to CD Lamb and the rest of these guys. Because if we're going to keep it real with one another, Dak is going to have some toys to play with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I really believe people like Ryan Flournoy, I feel like he needed a year to get used to the game speed of the NFL. I don't think Mingo's a bum. But if you put a dude like this dude Mac on the other side of CD Lamb, we gonna be cooking and get a speed back there with the guys we already have. I think we can do something because that's all Dak really needed was a good run scheme so he can do his play action.
Yeah.
Because can't nobody tell me that if Dak has a running game and some decent receivers that he's not going to torch you. He's going to eat you up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what he do. And I'm telling you, it makes me sick to my stomach to keep seeing our quarterback have to play from the shotgun instead of getting up under center.
Right.
You know what I mean? and handing the ball off. That's what I want to see again.
Yeah.
But whatever they decide to do, it is what it is, man. Yeah. But we definitely need some weapons on that offensive side of the ball first, man. If we can get Mac, let's get him.
Appreciate you, Reed. Good call, man.
But that's a
yes, sir.
All right, peace.
I see some people in the chat that are being a tad bit hyperbolic here. Reek wasn't implying that Tet McMillian is Randy Moss. The Cowboy Randy Moss example is a metaphor. It's a metaphor for not taking the best player due to overthinking. You know, if the whole room knows that this player is the best player, or if we're just discussing it as such and everybody is not even all the way consensus, but close to, acknowledging that a player is the best player, like, let's not overthink it. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm sure that's what Reek was saying. Nobody should have heard what Reek said and thought that he was comparing McMillian to Randy Moss directly. It's a metaphor. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm tripping, dog. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping, dog. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe y'all took a little. I don't know. One thing that Lowe said earlier was he was like, man, the wide receivers need some depth. Man, I think the wide receivers got air quote depth. The we don't have like top of the roster wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Jalen Tolbert had to come in for 3 games because somebody got hurt, I could live with that. If Turpin had to get some more reps because somebody got hurt or something like that, cool, bet. Flournoy take about 5 jet sweeps a game. Mingo go out there and block somebody for a little while, catch a couple passes because somebody hurt. Cool. I think we got the depth figured out. We don't have a dude that we feel comfortable at wide receiver 2. And we would love to have somebody this is my scenario. This is how I look at it. Even if you do draft McMillian at 12, I don't think he should be the second best receiver on your team. Think about when the Cowboys brought Lamb in. They brought Lamb in with Cooper and Gallup around. And look, Lamb was very dynamic, but as a rookie, you would say that Gallup was the better wide receiver, was the better NFL wide receiver at the time. I would like it if, all right, we got Lamb. Let's just say McMillian is the pick at 12 or whatever. Cool. You got McMillian at 12. I still don't want Jalen Tolbert to be third guy. I would love for Jalen Tolbert to come off the bench and get some work. Or if we go 10 personnel or something like that, then Jalen Tolbert steps in as a 4th wide receiver or something like that. Still go sign the veteran. Still go sign the veteran and take even more pressure off McMillian. And that's why I think the pot gets even sweeter for the Cowboys, why we shouldn't overthink this thing, is that McMillian doesn't have to come in and be the dude. As far as the Drake London comparison or whatever, and, you know, we can address that too. I don't think that's a direct comparison. I think that they do similar things, but I think McMillian is a much better player than Drake London. Drake London, I don't think can be like a full-time wide receiver 1 type guy. I think Drake London is built to be a complimentary type dude. I think if CeeDee Lamb wasn't around and McMillian was your wide receiver 1, I think in like 2 or 3 years, we would feel really good about McMillian being your wide receiver 1. But the luxury that we have is that CeeDee ain't going no damn where. Then you add McMillian to the party. That's what I'm saying, you know. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about those handful of things. Voch, how you feeling about trading back to 22 with the Chargers to grab their 55? I don't take serious a lot, you know, like trade back scenarios. I don't really take them all the way seriously because, I mean, teams would have to be trading up for something. You would have to tell me what player are you fine with, you know, trading away from. If the best player on the board is Mike Green, like, good luck getting somebody to come trade up for that. I just don't think that's a realistic situation. You know, I always make this example. It's kind of like a joke, really. Like, hey, I'm at pick 12. I don't like my options at pick 12, and I want more picks give me your picks in this section of players where the best players are. You say pick 55, pick 50. It's everybody wants more picks in day 2. That's where the dudes are. That's where you build your talent at, right? Nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'll give you all the picks in the range that you want, and you get to trade away from these players that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? It's just too favorable for me to consider it realistic. Now, if it happens, cool, we could talk about it. But you just can't be like, yo, Voch, would you trade back to Pittsburgh and get a second and a third round pick and a next year's second? Yeah, nigga, of course. Of course, we all would. Jay Kelly says lack of separation on the college level for Tet is not a red flag for you. Hey man, we'll pull this shit back up. Dog. Hold on, we ain't doing nothing. Hold on, wait. Let me just do this. I'll run this shit back. Hold on, wait a minute. What I gotta go? Okay, here we go. Desktop. Draft. Receiver. Tetaroa. Run the tape. Pause. OBS. Film. Put this shit back up here. This shit back up here. Let me put this shit back up here. Hey man, listen. We could talk. We could talk separation all you like, okay? And McMillian's not gonna be like the traditional separation, like route runner separation. But think about how he gets separation. He gets separation with his body. He gets separation with catch radius, right? Even if, and I got to pull me back up to show, but we ain't doing nothing else. Okay, let's just say that you're hip to hip to me, right? If you hip to hip to me, I may not have a lot of separation on you, but McMillian's arms do this. His shit. Okay, so this is from, okay, so I'm a YouTube cat, right? I'm a cat with a camera and a microphone. Boom. That's like what, a yard and a half of separation or something? That's like a yard. No, that's like a yard and a quarter of separate. I got some long arms. That's like a yard and a quarter maybe of separation. It might be just like 1 yard. What's the math on that? 12, 48, 36. So I got right up under 1 yard, right? Like I'm like 28 or something like that of separation. Hold on, I got a Illuminati sheet of paper. Hold on, I got y'all. I got a Illuminati sheet of paper just for conversations like this. Hold on, let me check my Illuminati sheet of paper just for conversations like this. Okay, so he got 31.5-inch arms and a 77-inch wingspan, and he's 6'4". So take the separation that he gives you in general, and then add another yard. Just add another yard, right? Just add it. I don't care if you hip to hip with me. And mind you, you ain't gonna see a whole bunch of clips of people just hip to hip with him, no way, right? But I can understand your point. Like, what's gonna happen when better corners give better coverage? I keep telling people, just go ask Travis. Go ask Travis Hunter. Like what's going? Like, look, this is tight coverage right here. Oh, look. This is relatively tight coverage, but when he's up here, but when he's up here, it's different. That's his separation. And mind you, a regular wide receiver may not be good with contested catches or whatever. He's an elite contested catcher, not by my eyes, but by the numbers. By the numbers, he's an elite contested catcher. I don't know, man. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Plus, hold on, chat. I got look, this is the one thing that y'all ain't ready for neither. Chat, y'all ready? Don't laugh when I say this. He's not going to be running upfield and turning around. That matters here. Don't y'all think that matters? Don't y'all think that matters? Let's go back to the phone. Let's get 100 grand on here, see what he talking about. I'm going to keep rolling this damn film, but let's get 100 grand on the phone. We ain't doing nothing else. What up, 100 grand?
What up, my guy? Been a minute.
Man, we just working, dog. You know how I go. What's happening?
Yeah, already, man. Listen, man. We know what the Joneses gonna do, man. They gonna get a lineman. They gonna get a lineman because that's the safe bet on the board.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Now,
hold on, time 100 grand. Hold on, time 100 grand. Wait. Everybody, please. Look at this close ass coverage on Travis Hunter. Look at this close ass goal line rep. Hold on, let me move the film over. Hold on, let me move the shit over because it's obstructing your view. I'm gonna leave this shit just like this. Hold on, how I move this shit? I'm gonna leave this just like this for the rest of the stream. This is separation. Let me move this shit over right there. That's separation for you. My bad, 100 grand. Please proceed with your thoughts. I'm leaving this right here. Go ahead, sir. I'm listening to you. What's that?
Now,
what you say?
Now. I think they're gonna get linemen. We want all these skill guys. We'll never get what we want.
Yeah.
So I'm setting myself up for linemen. That's what I'm setting myself up for because the nation wants skill players and they just do the opposite because they say, "Oh, we paid Dak $60 million, make it work." And so whose fault is it going to be when we ain't got no separation off the line because we ain't got no speed?
Yeah.
You know, what is a lineman going to do? How is a lineman going to help speed?
Sure.
How?
Sure. Yeah.
You know, I got a feeling we ain't gonna get the running back. We ain't gonna get the wide receiver, man. We gonna get somebody in the 6th round. We gonna get a wide receiver and a running back in the 6th round, 5th or 6th round. I got that feeling, Voch. I just do. I got that feeling. We gonna get our wide receiver and running back in the 6th round. And the first 3 picks are going to be linemen on both sides of the football. I've really got that feeling, man. I feel like it's going that fast. You in the building. How that feel? You think it's leaning that way? You in the building?
I don't think we're really going to know until like a week away from the draft, and I'm going to let everybody know then. I'm going to let everybody know then. I'm snitching.
My only problem,
I'm telling
my
them
only problem with linemen, and I know you're a lineman guy.
Yeah.
But they take too long, Voch. They take too long.
This is where I disagree. The wrong linemen take too long. The linemen, no, listen, 100 grand. That ass real shit. The linemen I don't like take too long. I knew, and look, I don't even want to say boy name, man, because he don't deserve me to be shitting on him like that. I knew Buddy was going to take a while. And there's some characters that won't take long at all. It's a couple of players, it's a couple of offensive linemen at the top of this draft that won't take long at all, 100 grand. So that's where I do disagree with you. But Guyton Goofy ass definitely was going to take a while. My bad, I ain't mean to say his name.
So if we get linemen, you can't Dak Prescott off the hook for that and I don't expect us to go far if we get linemen.
Well, think of it like this, okay? Think of it like this. If the Cowboys go offensive line, then imagine if the Cowboys went defensive line or edge or running back. What would you do about wide receiver in that case? You would just draft one in the 2nd round or 3rd round. So just do that. Like find your running mate for CeeDee Lamb when you do that. And if you do take a running back, if you do take an offensive lineman, you could just assume that maybe they're taking running the ball seriously. And if they're running the ball seriously, you asked about Dak. Maybe this is where we go into, Romo phase, right? Where Romo is at the end of his, life, his cycle or whatever, and now you go, all right, DeMarco Murray is going to lead this thing off, and we're going to throw touchdowns where we can, and Tony's only going to throw the ball 25 times. I wouldn't mind using Dak in that way. I don't like, and look, I'm a Dak fan, but I don't want Dak throwing the ball 40, 50 times a game. If Dak threw the ball, because look, 100 grand, I said this on the last show too. And look, shouts out to the mother teams, man. I don't want to be giving them credit, but they won a Super Bowl. What you want me to say? I'm ready to say on social media that the Cowboys won a game and Dak only threw for 105 yards on 12 attempts. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to say that. I can't wait. Hold on. I can't wait for the run game to take over. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to take some pressure off of Dak's back, because I think everybody can agree that Dak can play, but it's pressure situations. So cool. How about in pressure situations, get the run game going so that he ain't got a XYZ. When Josh Allen beating the hell out the when the Bills beating the hell out the Cowboys and Josh Allen getting all the credit for it, but James Cook been ran for 180 yards, dog, I'm ready for us to get that kind of credit. I'm ready for Amarion Hampton to rush for 150 yards, and I could be like, oh yeah, Dak did it. I think drafting Booker from Alabama and putting him at right guard can afford you that if we're serious about running the ball.
But don't you think having 2 stud wide receivers help out with the run as well? Because you can't say, all right, we going to load the box. You ain't doing that with AJ and Smitty. You a fool. Let me tell you something. DeMarco Murray used to put his head down and run into them 9-yard boxes and get all that goddamn CTE. And we used to just block that shit up front and we made it work. Boy, we'll put James Hanna out that mug. We'll put Gavin Escobar out that bitch. And and look, your 10-man box, we'll run 10 blockers right into it. And we'll make that shit work because you couldn't tackle DeMarco Murray. And Tony Romo threw the ball 22 times and it'll be straight. Look, it happened. Or Ezekiel Elliott. Honestly, keeping the buck with you. Shit. Yeah, Zeke did the same thing.
Sure did.
But I just like, man, I want everybody got two wide receivers or 3. And we only have 1. And we just can't compete. We don't got the weapons to compete, man. We need the weapons.
What's he $100 grand? That's a different discussion. If you're asking me this or that, then cool. I can take a stance if we're fighting this or that. But when you talk about championship teams, let's just talk about the boys in Philly. They're not having a conversation of this or that. They got everything. They got the offensive line. They have the offensive line. They got 2 receivers. They got a running back. They quarterback is whatever. But hey, they have all things. So we can't go into it like, oh yeah, well, we could either make the run game better with two wide receivers, or we can make the run game better with an offensive lineman and somehow give the Joneses credit after that. Nah, if you trying to compete for real, you need to be as stacked as they are. I mean, we just aren't. We just aren't right now. Go ahead.
Now, Voch, this just came to my head.
Sure.
Now, unless there's a plan going on, and this is year 1.
You know these boys ain't got no goddamn plan, boy.
If you sit there,
you know the Joneses. Don't talk over my war call.
If you sit there,
talk over my war call. You know the Joneses ain't got no plan. Talk over my war call, man. You know the Jones ain't got. You know they do this year by year, paycheck to paycheck.
If this is year 1 of the plan, we gonna fix the offensive line. We gonna get us a running back. Next year, we gonna get wide receivers. If it's the plan, I can kind of get behind that. But let us know that, because that's what it feels like too. We can't do everything in this draft. So if they sit there and say, we're gonna get the lineman in this draft, we're gonna get our running back in this draft, and then next year we're gonna get our wide receiver, and then next year gonna be the year that we go for it. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah. Nah, man. Nah, the Jones ain't got no plan, man. They just out here winging it, dog. That's a cool thought to think, but nah, man. Them boys ain't got no plan, man. Come on, man. You know better. Appreciate it, 100 grand.
Right,
good
man.
call, man.
All right, bro.
100 grand talking about them boys them boy got a plan. You know them people just be out here winging it. You know they figuring this out on the fly. Brandon from Houston, pardon me, sir. What's good with you?
Hey, what's good, Voch?
Everything is everything. What you got for me?
All right, Voch. Let's say other people are stupid and our GMs do what we want. We get Tet in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
What would we compliment them with? Where do we go from there? If our team is thinking in that way and they're aggressive in that way, where do you think the rest of the draft falls for us after that? Like, and we have a lot of 5th round picks. So what position does it push back to the 5th that there's a lot of depth that we could get value?
It'll be some combination of day 2 will probably look like linebacker or corner or running back, depending on who's there for you. I think that there's a world where like an interior offensive lineman could be there, but I'm not positive about that. And as far as day 3 goes, with all your 5s, your 6s and 7s, that's develop guy and kicking teams guys. So you're probably going to get a tight end there. You're probably going to get you're definitely going to get a linebacker there. You might have to double down a linebacker in this draft. If you didn't get a 1 tech earlier, you're definitely going to get a 1 tech in the 7th. If you didn't get a running back earlier, you're going to definitely get a running back later on in the 5th. And look, I do think it's good running backs that are there for you to take in the 5th. I just personally don't want to wait that long. And I think you probably going to have to look at corner for real. You're going to have to take a long look at corner. DB for real. You might get a corner and a box safety out of this thing, but I don't know. We'll see. But if McMillian goes first, there's still not a clear path of what your 2nd and 3rd round pick will be. Honestly, I think the Cowboys will go BPA in round 1, 2, and 3, and then they'll try to do free agency after the draft to try to, clean up the spots.
All right. Looking forward to it, man. Congratulations on all the growth, man. The content was brought us. And, man, have a blessed day.
Appreciate you, Brandon. Good call, mate. Yeah, I hate it too, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I hate it too. Let's get Big A on the phone. What up, Big A?
Hey, Voch, how you doing?
What's good with you, man? What you got for the show?
I'm good. I've had some rough days a little bit recently, but it's been fine.
It's gonna be all right, man. It's gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. All right, don't even worry about it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. My first question I had was because I believe I saw granted, I don't know how true this was, but I believe so far I believe I saw a like some type of like one of those weird stats out there where like so far going into this draft, it's like the first time in like a really, really long time since that no one's made like a trade in the first round. Like there's no trade, like everyone's got their own picks. No one's making trades in the first round. And which got me thinking, because this draft gives me like heavy 2013 vibes, where that top of that board was it turned into chaos, and everybody was just, and it went nowhere expected how everyone said it was going to go heading into that draft. Who do you think is the first team to make a goofy move?
I'm sorry, just to be clear, you saying that lately there haven't been first round trades?
No, I'm saying like this year. This year is the first. I saw a stat that said that this year is the first. This year is the latest this year is the latest heading into a draft that there hasn't been a trade yet in the first round. Like usually by this point in time, there's at least like one pick that's been traded in the first round.
Oh, okay,
there hasn't been none yet.
I got you. Pardon me. Now, what was your actual question? Because I was up here trying to brainstorm and think about it while you was talking. I apologize. So what's the actual question?
Who do you think? Where do you think this draft goes? Which pick do you think this draft goes goofy? And someone's going to go out there and make a crazy trade or a crazy move, and it's going to throw this board. It's going to throw everything off. It's going to throw this whole draft out of whack.
Well, I don't want to be rude, but I think as soon as somebody draft Michael Williams, first of all, I'm gonna be relieved that we won't have an opportunity to do it if somebody does. But I'm curious, maybe like one of the late quarterbacks, like Jackson Dart or something like that. Maybe he gets drafted a bit early and it mixes the board up a bit. I think maybe if I've been saying in mock drafts that they have Hampton going at 12, I think that's something that could shake the board up a little bit because I didn't anticipate him being a 12 overall guy. I don't even think this is the year for goofy stuff to happen because the top of the draft isn't as heavy as some of the other tops of the drafts or whatnot. So it's going to be hard to get Goofy in this draft.
Okay, I got you. I see you. Now, granted, I've been hearing you and Voch, I've been hearing you and Broadus talk a lot about Michael Williams. And I agree with you guys. I do. I feel like, personally speaking, when it came to the whole discourse of it, the player that kept ringing me in my ear every time everybody talked about Michael Williams and why he should be going high and stuff, and I want to check with you to see if they look similar coming out. Do you remember Lucas Van Ness?
Yes, sir.
When he came out of Iowa, he was young. He was a 20-year-old pass rusher. Mm-hmm. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's 20. He's young. He's very trait-y. If you draft him, he has the potential to turn into like this really, really good pass rusher." And the Packers ended up taking him like, I forget how high. I think they took him in the top 15.
Yeah.
I forget what draft it was, but they took him in the top 15. I feel like that's what we're getting with Michael Williams.
Yeah. I'm not ceiling guy. I'm really just not ceiling guy. I don't want to take the player and develop them for 3 years because I ain't got faith in your coaches, man. I don't know. I don't know if you gonna bring the best out of this kid. I trust my eyes. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go get the players that I think are good, and then you can make them better. But man, I was not a Luke Van Ness fan. I didn't even see. I thought he was a 3-tech, honestly. And and Todd McShay was one of them guys that hyped the hell up out some Luke Van Ness, man. So, I ain't finna talk about his losses because I got him too, but you ain't finna hear me hype up no take long to develop guy. You know what I'm saying? That ain't me.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Believe me, I agree.
Yeah.
But that's every time I hear about Michael Williams, that's the player that keeps ringing to me. I'm like, oh, this is Van Ness. I'm like, it's Van Ness. A similar one is Stewart from A&M. Now, granted, this one might be a bit of a reach. In my head, but everyone talks about his lack of production, right? Everyone talks about his lack of production coming out of A&M, so I'm like, okay, he reminds me of Danielle Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, risky. When he came out of LSU, when Danielle Hunter came out of LSU, I forget how long ago that was, but when he was coming out of LSU, he was a high upside guy, low production. I think he had like 4 sacks at LSU his entire time there. And everybody was like, well, if he's such a good pass rusher, how come he had low production? It's like, but then again, Danielle Hunter didn't go in the first round. At least I don't think he did.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I got to move this along, man. I got to get this last call and get ready for Bleach Report. But I appreciate you for calling in, though, Big A. You ain't wrong, man. You ain't wrong. And that's you actually put something on my mind there, man, with the Luke Van Ness stuff, man. So appreciate you, Big A.
All right, thank you. No problem. I'll see you around, bro.
That's a fantastic example that I haven't thought of, man. I was not a fan of Luke Van Ness, and I just couldn't see. I was like, man, what y'all see in this Luke Van Ness kid? And I don't know, maybe they still trying to fix him and develop him over there, but I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Let's get this last one in. We're gonna read some supers, and I gotta go do Bleach Report. What up, John Q?
I'm gonna bury my son. My son ain't gonna bury me.
It was good with you, my guy. How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing all right. What's up, man?
Man, I'm cooling, man. I can't complain.
Hey, man, I got 3 little things real quick. So number one, you said it perfectly right. Like Tet Mcmillian ain't a dude who's about to outdo this, outdo that, but he's big and he got Velcro hands.
Sure.
You could spare me with that Savion Williams stuff in the 3rd, 4th round, 5th round, because all wide receiver I want you to do, your main job, that's your priority, is catch the ball. So he can't even do that. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, that's just me. Two other things, man. So let's say we don't do anything goofy. We do get, in whatever order you want, corner, line, receiver, running back, first 3 rounds. In like the 5th round, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at like some of these offensive tackles that may somehow drop that we could kind of throw them in guard. You got any juice for me on Emory Jones, Holland Pierce, or like Anthony Belton, kind of bigger dudes? Weight is pretty substantial.
Yeah.
They're strong guys, can anchor well. I feel like maybe you could throw them into a guard and keep our fluidity there. Or I'm not sure, but you're looking at one of these guys who could be converted into a guard. I don't know if you had any thoughts on those couple guys.
Hell yeah, man. I got you, man. You know what time it is, man. So Emory Jones, I got him in the 4th round. I do think he's a tackle. I just want him to be more consistent and sound with his
feet are slow though.
Yeah. He's kind of up and down with it, but he's a job done guy. Like if you watch him versus Texas A&M or South Carolina, like he blocks some of those guys. Like he'll get the job done. He just won't look fantastic doing it, but other plays he'll look bad doing it. I think he's actually a tackle. Holland Pierce, who's a big, tall mammoth child. I think he's also kind of slow-footed and heavy, but he's gonna win with like length and just his size. And I think he's a tackle, but I think he's gonna have problems at tackle. I just think he might be too big and long and and tall for guard or whatever. But it's interesting that you said Belton. I actually have Belton as a guard on my board because the first thing I saw when I saw him was that he was having issues with these guys and C gap, and anybody that was kind of twitched up gave him issues. But when he was working to his right, which is a closer gap, I thought that he had some power in those situations. I thought that he was able to get some movement in those situations. So Anthony Belton is a guard on my board. So Jones and Belton, I got him in the 4th round, and Pierce I got in the 5th.
Gotcha. Hey, so one last food for thought here, and we're all calling in, we're all Cowboy fans. We all know that the Jones family likes to sometimes do some goofy stuff, but we usually do a pretty damn good job drafting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jerry loves to make the splash kind of, investment, draft pick, whatever you want to call it, right? Mm-hmm. Think about this. And I've been looking at the Jimmy Johnson kind of draft sheets. If somehow we got, Travis Hunter drops to 4 and the Patriots on the clock, you could trade up with them if they want to get more picks, if they want to rebuild, they want to build around Jones, they think they can still get their guy at 12. You can give them one. I know we want to keep our picks, but you can do 1, 2, and 3 and a second next year, which would be goofy, but we don't know what Jerry likes to do. Again, you'd go get Travis Hunter because it seems like that guy fits the Cowboys' MO. It's a star-studded dude. Immediately, no matter what happened in the draft, who went there, I guarantee you the headline would be that's what it would be. And kind of what we're looking at lately is that's more important than wins. So do you realistically think that we'd have an option to do that? Because, he would be one of the better corners on our team. You can even consider moving Diggs to safety or something like that, and then he could play as that 1B receiver as well. He would really kind of fit 2 spots. But I don't see them doing something like that, but it is something me and some friends were kicking around the can that the Cowboys might consider doing that,
That, my good friend, you said it, is indeed goofy. And I don't think that's going to happen, dog. I think that's a long shot, man. I think Travis going to go top 4. But, John, I got to get up out of here, man. I got to go to Bleacher. Appreciate you, though, dog.
You're good, man. Take care, man. Have a good one, my man.
Appreciate you. Man, look at all this separation McMillian getting, dog. That's what I like. That's what I like. And I'll just go ahead and run the play just in case, people think, well, Voch, did he really catch it? Yeah, man. He does this. That's what he does. All right. Y'all want to read some supers and get up out of here? Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Voch, why aren't you guys stressing safety? The Cowboys safety play has been average at best. We need a playmaker back there. Your thoughts? I do think the Cowboys need safety. I just think the Cowboys need a bunch of other shit that's a little more important right now. In my mind, safety is like a luxury pick. You know what I'm saying? Safety, tight end, stuff like that. Man, that's luxury picks. Fullback, that's a luxury pick. You got to fix your fundamentals first. Cowboys wide receivers has the worst separation in the NFL. We last in the league, but that's Dak's fault. That's because we was running the field and turning around, big dog. Supers. Well, Diamond, I always make sure you get home safe. I spent a lot of money on you. All right. AZA dropped a shit. What is this? A Guitar Real. Okay, so okay. Let's look up. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, dog. You already know. Much love. Much love, big dog. Much love. Let's see. What that is? 25. QA Aura Real. Hey, man, appreciate the 687. Salute to you. He says, I'm a Cardinals fan from Qatar. But I enjoy your content. Who should the Arizona Cardinals draft? Well, Tank of Fun. Say it right now, damn it. I appreciate it. I'm gonna tell you right now. The Cardinals at 16 overall. Take Kenny Grant, defensive tackle from Michigan. Appreciate your player. Appreciate your player. Clay G dropped the 5 and says, everyone in Chicago thinks McMillian is Laquan Treadwell. Hey, Treadwell ain't never done none of this shit we seen on film from McMillian. But it's all good. William Cook, appreciate you, Clay. William Cook dropped 5 and says, if T-Mac and Genty are not there at 12, trade down. Well, you would love to trade down, but I don't think the phone gonna ring. So if Genty and McMillian aren't there, you got to sit there and pick. I would take any combination of Jahdae Barron, Josh Simmons, or Tyler Booker. They probably looking at Will Johnson and Michael Williams, but we'll see. Iceberg Q drops a 5 and says, Golden Corral fun. Appreciate you, man. If we get Tet Mcmillian, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go to Golden Corral with about 6 of y'all. Also, Zach Golston is doing a jersey giveaway. He's doing a jersey giveaway. So if you've made it this far into the stream, in the comment sections, not the chat box. Let me come to music off. In the comment section, not the chat box. You're in the chat right now. But in the comment section, okay? In the comment section, go down there and be like hashtag T-Mac. And from those people, we'll do a jersey giveaway. I want to see if we can wait till after the draft. That'll be really cool if we could give away the first round pick jersey or whatever. I'm gonna talk to Zach about that. But go in the comments and do hashtag T-Mac, and we'll do a jersey giveaway. Voch, is Skywalker good? Skywalker is good. I'm gonna let him update y'all on everything that's going on, but Skywalker is good. I talk to him a lot. Maurice Sherrod dropped the 5 and says, yo, Voch, had a question for you. I was big on Luther Burden, and it seems like he's falling out of favor. Why do you think that is? I think it's the interviews. It ain't because of the play on field. I think it's the interview stuff, which is fine. I'll just take him at 44. We straight. Aaron says, me and Professor Owen are opposite on Burden. I think he's a lazy route runner, but a weapon once he gets downhill. Do you trust the boys with using right? Well, I'm not positive that the boys were using right because I don't know what this looks like. If they're asking him to run upfield and turn around, then no, he wouldn't work here. But assuming that they have some sort of creativity, then he'll be fine. JC Cowboy Network, appreciate you, man. You're doing good work over there. Drop 5 says, keep up the great work, my bro. Salute to you also. Y'all go and check out his content. He's dropping a ton of draft work over there and some film sessions for y'all to tap in with. Ron came back with another 5 and says, with Adams' new run scheme, you think slow-footed guards like Booker would be on their board? I think slow-footed guard is a nasty term when describing Tyler Booker. Booker may not be fast, but he don't have slow feet. He may have cool feet, but they're not slow. And them hoes better not let him get the 44. I'm in the building. Like I'm at the Star. They better not let my mans get the 44. After the stream, you get to the comments after the stream. When the stream is over, hop in the comments after the stream. And Aaron dropped a dub that says was the 801 caller for the work. Hey man, appreciate you dropping a dub in the super chat, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to get ready to go, man. But hey, look, call back tomorrow, man. I'm gonna go live again tomorrow. Call back tomorrow and I will get you right on there. But I had to wrap this up a little bit. But appreciate you, man, for the work. Myron? Hey man, appreciate y'all for tapping in. I tell y'all all the time, this is my favorite thing to do, streaming and going live with y'all. It's the best. So salute to you all. Like I said, when this stream is over, go in the comments and put hashtag TMAC, and we'll get you in that jersey giveaway. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all, man. Y'all hold it down with the Dose, the piece of whiskey. Stay tuned in. Because I'll be dropping news and things like that. So if y'all at 6 o'clock, that's 40 minutes. If y'all want to run over here to the Bleach Report and watch me live over there, check me out live under the Cowboy tab on Bleach Report. And then I'm going live with Broad. Y'all can tap in with me there. Y'all hold down with the Dose, the piece of whiskey. Until next time, shouts out to the essential workers at the Blue Flame. I forgot to say it earlier, but intros change. Love y'all. Peace.